and that makes him more tanky. So Fada's gonna have a difficult time, I think, going forward.
Also, really good rotations from Finem. They're getting themselves a little bit of a lead. This is something one team fight could turn around. And also, you have to account for tower gold. We do have TPs coming in. They do have the track on the bounty hunter, and now the egg on the phoenix. So some well-placed fire spirits could mean a big egg explosion and a huge win for Liquid. And look at that shuriken doing so much damage as it bounces around mind control, looking for someone to primal roar on. Phoenix coming in from the sidelines. They're actually just going to take a moment to de-ward. And that should be the end of the engagement.
What I really liked before Doug TP'd mid and they killed Fada, we were talking about how they were considering going for a play at the bot lane, and Doug didn't want to blink in and ends up going mid, and I think that's super important in this game. Queen of Pain always have to like recognize that once you blink forward, you're like the squishiest hero in the world. It's your blink that makes you survivable and difficult to kill. So if you use the blink offensively and it doesn't work out, you don't burst the person down, you don't control the fight properly, you say you get roared and someone else TPs and suddenly you're just dead. So I think it's as much like commendable part of Queen of Pain player to not blink at bad times as it is to make the kills when you make them, and it's something to actually watch in a good Queen of Pain when there's that hesitance, when there's that, okay, I'm not actually sure about this, I'm not going to go in. I think that's also a very good sign of a top Queen of Pain player.
Doug getting very close to that orchid, which will hopefully help with the AM, who has been sitting now up here uncontested farming. He's going to finish the treads off first, and it looks, oh never mind, we have an engagement. They're going in onto fodder, but the tombstone and the egg are dropped, so this is a bit awkward. Tombstone probably going to zone away anyone. Tracks coming out. No, they're going in onto fodder again, as you talked about. DPT is so easy to burst down right now. Another auto attack. Trees will help finish her off. That's Fodder's, what, fifth death?
They're just going to walk into rush, even with track on them. They just feel comfortable doing this.
Yeah. And AM, as we were mentioning, he does not have the Battle Fury yet, and even if he did, kind of needs the Manta afterwards to get anything done.
Yep, and they know the egg is down, they know that there's no DP. It's going to be all on the Beastmaster if there's a contest here, so we'll see what he can get done.
Yeah, mind control trying to get in position. Kuro also doing a good job of tracking people up. Madara is pounding away at that Roche. They may actually want to help him. No. Oh, okay, they're throwing in this fire spirits, and actually Thug TPing away. They cannot finish this, and if they can't, then DP could just come in with that that ult and get it. There it is. The primal roll on to the spot, and he will fall. Madara in the danger zone as well, trying to haste away. Maybe next time going for the run away. Is he going to be able to find a spot to TP? It looks like he will, but that Aegis, I think, going the way of Liquid.
Yeah, probably, and that's, I mean, even if they don't get it now, that's a huge mistake. I think the first very big mistake from Finem this game is they were way too casual about, oh, we'll just easily take rush, and there won't be an issue here. And it ends up being contested, they end up not being quick enough, and they're gonna try go back.
Oh, they're gonna try for it. They do have a Sonic Wave, but they are both silenced up right now. The Roche getting incredibly low. Madara, you're gonna just have to drop that Mad Boy if you want to, but no, the Aegis is gonna go down and goes out on the AM. The Sonic Wave comes through, kills up mind control, but here is AM ready to fight. Madara in the hot seat, taking a lot of damage. He is blown up with that ult. AM will burn the first light, and they manage to use the finger to kill the bounty hunter, while Fodder still exercising, but he's getting very low. The auto attacks will have him. That was not the fight for Liquid, and now the eggs, they should easily be able to auto attack this down, and they do.
Yeah, okay, so it's funny because both teams take a turn to make the mistake of being overconfident with taking down the rush. And even though Liquid do get the rush, it's absolutely not worth it. I mean, you can, in a way, you can see it as taking the rush denies Finem from getting the rush and the Aegis, so there's that extra value. But the fact that they lose the Aegis and all the other heroes, I think it still works out in Finem's favor overall. And the play for Liquid now is going to be, I actually don't know how to get their DP into this game. The DP is a really tough hero to fight from behind with, and maybe with a bunch of track kills just with spam, but really the play for me is, it's about the Beastmaster, the Phoenix, those heroes sort of keeping them in while the anti-mage gets farmed. And even if the DP is behind, if the anti-mage gets farmed enough, they're still going to look good. But Finem are not going to wait. They're not going to like sit around and give Liquid time. They're going to just keep putting pressure on and forcing Liquid to respond over and over and over.
They do have to be a little bit careful about this, of course. Every time that they push, they're all grouped up, not getting the experience in the farm. The AM is getting separately, and those shuriken bounces when 4 of you are tracked. You need a mech or something. Sun right now coming through as well to help with the deep push. Phoenix has to be careful. Does Icarus dive away? There's the Shadow Strike coming out now, but Jack's going for the TP out. Hex off in time, and they're going to get the kill on the Phoenix. Now maybe they can siege this tower, but while they're doing this, AM also working on their tier 2. Oh, and Finem have to be careful. Oh,
Yeah,
and the tombstone drop behind the tower. This should just be a zoning tombstone. Blip is thrown out by Liquid though. Maybe a little early.
It's super important that they get the kill on the Phoenix. I do feel like the trade is actually not that good for them otherwise. Anti-Mage got a lot of time farming and pushing. Beastmaster did too on the other side. And it's actually a reasonable trade for Liquid, barring the fact that the Phoenix does go down as well. But even then, the Phoenix is not that big of a kill. So I think Liquid, all things considered, will be perfectly fine with the trade that just happened.
Yeah, I have to say I'm really impressed with Finem. They're running a lineup that needs them to drive the pace of the game, and I do think they've been doing a good job of it. I would just be wary that AM isn't getting out of control, because they do have a lot of big int bombs in Thug on that plot, and of course Skylock on the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, I do think Finem like set the pace of the game right now. They do kind of control where things are happening. Well, there's gonna be this task.
Okay, they managed to get the deny off, and nothing found there for Liquid.
Yeah, the TP and the TP cancel and eventually the blink, but even though I think Finem are setting the pace and kind of controlling the tempo right now, deciding where fights will happen and how the movement goes, there's still a concern, which is that Liquid just needs to turn a corner, and if they do, it's almost like there's no turning back. If Liquid get to that stage in the game where it's like, okay, your window's kind of dried up at Finem, our anti-mage is now strong, Manta Star's online, maybe one of the ice bombs is online. At that point the game becomes very, very difficult for Finem. And it looks good that they keep getting these pickups on like heroes like Phoenix, but I actually think that's not a big enough deal. Like, they need to be killing more towers. There's way too many other towers still up on the side of Liquid. Yeah.
Bro, gonna get dusted up and silenced. They should have more than enough damage to bring him down. He pops that mesh, still dusted though, so the auto attacks will come through. I agree with you, and I also think you need to be wary against Liquid. We mentioned this Death Prophet needs a lot of help to get back into the game, but Fodder is a guy that we've seen have he has had more than enough success from behind. He knows how to play solidly, and he will just keep trying to get bomb. He might add more deaths to his head, but he'll figure it out.
Mind Control has Necro 3 on Beastmaster, pretty good timing, and that's also another big deal because if he's gonna split push lane on his own, he can like push really quickly. It's not, I mean, obviously it's not the same as a Drow Ranger with 4 ranged arrows, but it's still pretty good. So the Necros in terms of fights are good, but the Necros also just in terms of like when he's pushing, he's a relevant threat on his own, just like the Anti-Mage, the Battle Fury, and it makes it that much easier for Liquid to do the avoid taking you on 5v5 but still get good value in trades game.
Mokpop did get up an early awkward. AM is only about 1,000 gold away from having that Monta style. So he no longer has to worry about it. We've got a Sunray going out onto Skylock, Primal Roar as well, and Nature's Prophet will be down for the count.
Yeah, and this is the unfortunate thing about the dynamic in the game right now, that the occasional pick-off on a single hero for Liquid is actually very significant in bucking the trend that Finem have of like sort of having the momentum, being ahead and threatening to take down objectives. Whereas the occasional kill that Finem gets on a Liquid hero, especially if it's basically anyone but the anti-mage, actually isn't worth that much. Doesn't really contribute a whole lot to affecting the dynamic of the game.
For Finem, it's definitely, I think, a harder game. As we've talked about, they kind of have an all-in strategy. They're going to go to poke at bottom tower, but Phoenix is coming in under the guise of dust. I'm not sure if Phoenix is hoping to set something up. You know, it doesn't look like it. Are they? Sorry, smoke. Oh, okay, they might be smoked elsewhere. Fodder coming on over. Maybe next time going to take quite a bit of damage, and now in comes the AM. Going for the blink forwards, the stun not going to be able to get him. And quick pick on that line.